I'm not one of those people like, you've got to be here for 10 years or you've got to be here for 25 years, you know? I'm like, are you here? Are you planning to stay? Then you're a New Yorker.
I'm Wesley Morris, and this is Cannonball. Today, we're live. A few weeks ago, we did our first ever live show at the Tribeca Festival, and I thought, what could we talk about in front of a bunch of New Yorkers that would be interesting to them? And I was like, New York movies about New York City. There are so many of them, and they are a range of geographies, architectures, personalities, fashion, language across, many decades. And I wanted to talk to somebody who really is conversant in all of that range. Somebody who can talk about what it means to make work about New York City, what it means to watch work about New York, but who was also herself a great New Yorker. And so my guest for that conversation about New York City movies is Cynthia Nixon. Yes. Sex and the City, Cynthia Nixon.
Elaborate.
And just like that, Cynthia Nixon.
You guys are sweet, drinking this non-alcoholic bullshit with me.
The Gilded Age, Cynthia Nixon.
You make me feel as if I were 16 again.
Could have been our governor, Cynthia Nixon. She is, she's the epitome of a very particular, very wonderful type of New Yorker. So here is our conversation about New York City films on stage at the Tribeca Festival in, of course, New York City.
Cannonball with Wesley Morris. Let's give it
up. Welcome to Cannonball, Cynthia Nixon.
Thank you, Wesley Morris.
First of all, can we just talk about you as a New Yorker? You were born here?
Yes.
What does that mean? What does it mean to be a New Yorker to you?
You know, my dad, neither of my parents were born here. My mother was born in Chicago and my dad was born in Harlingen, Texas. And my dad, they both loved New York so much. And my dad said, as strange or surprising as this might sound, Texas and New York have a lot in common.
Oh,
One is that they're places that, both really desperately want to secede from the rest of the country. And one is there are places where individuality and eccentricity are really nurtured and, adored, worshipped. Celebrated. But the other thing is that New York is like the head of the list. Like it trumps your profession or your class or your ethnicity or your race or your religion or...
Oh my God, it's too early for tears, Cynthia, but...
Like I'm a New Yorker, right? I'm a Texan, right? So to be a native New Yorker, I mean, to me, there are obviously as many kinds of New York as there are as many New Yorkers. Mm-hmm. But to me, New York is always about the energy and the grit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's about, growing up here. I have 3 children. I've raised them all here. And it's like, as opposed to being, growing up in a rural area or growing up in a suburban area where you're constantly in a city, a car bubble, right? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I like this.
Right. New York is all about walking down the street or being on a subway, and you're constantly interacting, if not just maybe only with your eyes, but often more than that with all the people that you meet. Mm-hmm. And so, so often you meet kids from other places and they don't even realize they're being addressed.
Yeah.
But New Yorkers, New York kids, they're always like right there and they have their opinions and they have never understood, they've never heard of the idea of a kid's table.
Right.
They're just in the swim. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's New York. And just the grittiness of like fending for yourself as you're walking down the street.
When do people who aren't from here become New Yorkers? Do you have a philosophy about that? I'm a Philadelphian, and there's a lot of me that, and I lived in Boston for 13 years. If you boo, don't bring that. It's not what we're doing tonight. Go Knicks. I really struggle with when to call myself one. And it's like I'm from Philadelphia, and the same filtering I have to do to remember how to say the device that heats your home, which is, most people say radiator. As a Philadelphian, I say radiator. Radiator. And I have to stop myself every time I say that word to remember.
Well, my mother was from the Midwest, and
how
she had
everybody
to
said
stop
it.
herself from saying wash
instead
of wash.
Water. So there are moments. My first day when I moved back here in 2013, I saw a horrendous car accident in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, that killed a child, and all the people who were on at that intersection sprang into action to help and save who we could help and save.
Yeah.
And that was like my first week here looking for an apartment. And that was a moment where I'm like, I feel like I'm with these people. Because whatever that energy is that I didn't even know I had, I didn't know I was a spring into action kind of person. That feels like New York energy to me.
Yeah, I mean, my wife always makes fun of me that I scour the streets for people who are obviously lost and approach them and ask if I can't please give them directions. And New Yorkers, I think it's sort of fading now, but New Yorkers always have this reputation for being unfriendly. I don't think we're unfriendly at all.
I'm from Philadelphia.
We're late. We're busy. We're in a rush. But we will stop and help you. And we're just not going to say, like, how are you?
Yeah.
How's your day? We're going to be like,
keep it moving.
do you know what train?
Yeah.
Do you know what train you're waiting for?
Do you? Okay, so this is how I feel like I'm comfortable saying I'm a New Yorker, is that I also look for people to help show where to go.
Yeah.
And then when I see them not do it, I don't know if you do this. I run back to them and I'm like, why are you going this way? I just told you where to go. And they're just like willfully going the wrong way.
Some people you can't help.
But we try.
I don't think, I'm not one of those people like, you've got to be here for 10 years or you've got to be here for 25 years, I'm like, are you here? Are you planning to stay? Then you're a New Yorker.
Okay. I like that. Okay, so we're talking about works of art about New York, set in New York.
And hopefully, God willing, filmed in New York. At least partly.
In every case, filmed in New York.
At least partly.
As far as we know, all three of these works are filmed. We're talking about movies, to be specific. You chose two movies, and I chose a movie. And you chose Breakfast at Tiffany's and The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Two of the great films about New York City. Why did you choose these two?
You always want to go for the grit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You always want to go for, Midnight Cowboy and Taxi Driver and the Panic in Needle Park and Do the Right Thing, right? But you want to, so I was like, I knew I was going to choose The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 because it is literally my favorite movie. And then I was like, I got to go the other way. And, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Holly Golightly has never heard that there was a Subway in New York.
This is what I wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Because these two movies they're kind of talking to each other in some interesting ways.
Martin Balsam
is in both movies.
And also, I just will say, I don't think we would have a Sex and the City if we did not have a Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That's also probably true.
There are so many overt and slightly more nuanced references,
in the series to this movie.
Yes.
Well, let's start with Breakfast at Tiffany's then. 1961, Blake Edwards.
Blake Edwards,
Blake
right?
Edwards.
He did a great job.
Blake Edwards, I'm a canon person. The show was called Cannonball. We wanted one in, but we work for the New York Times. Afraid of typos. Afraid of being accused of typos. But Blake Edwards, maybe the least properly rated American director we had.
He does a great job with this movie.
And I had not seen this since I personally fell in love with Blake Edwards. This was like a Blake Edwards movie I didn't watch. And he is, for people who... Blake Edwards did The Pink Panther, Victor Victoria, 10,
He was married to
Julie Andrews. Yes. One of our great directors. And one of the things that makes him great is in Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is party scenes.
Right.
The man is the king of one of my favorite movie ideas, which is a big, long party sequence. And this movie has a great one.
Yeah, it's like 12 minutes long or
Yeah.
15 minutes long or something. It's crazy.
And a lot of things happen. There are a lot of sight gags and things are happening in the foreground and the background simultaneously. But talk to me about your relationship with this movie. When did you first see it?
Well, I'm sure I was a little girl and my mother, showed it to me, and I loved Audrey Hepburn and so glamorous and so winning. And I don't know, the whole every part of it sort of captured me. But when I was the fantasy of it, the glamour, and I think it's interesting. The other two movies that we're going to talk about are about New Yorkers, people who live in New York and have always lived in New York. But so much of the glamour, arguably, most of the glamour of New York City comes from non-native New Yorkers, right?
Yes.
And Holly is not. I mean, there are all these people who flock here and make Truman Capote and make New York more fabulous than it ever was because it's in their mind's eye.
And it's the fantasy of yourself in the fantasy of this place, right?
Right.
This movie is based on a Truman Capote short novel, and it's wildly different from the thing he wrote.
It is and it isn't.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that I love movies adapted from works that, because it's a Hollywood production, just will not be doing the following
Right, he will
16
not be gay.
things.
He will not be gay
Right.
in the movie.
And I think that those adaptations wind up finding something else that is true in the source material. Mm-hmm. And this movie, to me, is still about remaking yourself and being outed as being something other than what you
Being a
have,
phony.
have
Being a phony.
presented. Right. And this is a movie about a woman from Texas. She's escaped a marriage that she definitely should never have been in.
Right.
Comes to New York to flee that, and then the past catches up with her. And there is this dark undercurrent happening throughout this movie. And I think it doesn't get enough credit for its darkness in some ways because, it's got one of our great movie star performances in Audrey Hepburn, who also is not afraid of what is dark about this film.
Mm-hmm. I mean, certainly when she gets the telegram that her brother has died, I mean, it's just devastating.
It's a great moment that I actually, I was going to say, we were talking backstage that I wanted to thank you for making me rewatch these films because, I had seen both of them. I'd seen Taking Pelham 1, 2, 3 fairly recently, but Breakfast at Tiffany's I hadn't watched since I was a teenager.
Yeah. So
thanks for that. We got a clip. We got some clips from each movie. My movie, by the way, is The Wiz. I just want to throw that out there. So this is a scene from Breakfast at Tiffany's. I believe this is the scene where she and Audrey Hepburn and George Papard, Holly and Paul, they do her favorite thing on a day that, they
take turns each doing something great that neither of them has ever done before.
Yes, in New York City.
And I'll just say, because when I watched it again, I was really scrutinizing what's done in the studio and what's done in New York City.
Okay,
and it's all of the interior scenes, mostly Holly's apartment and Fred/Paul's apartment, are in a studio, except they bother to actually, because I looked it up, film this scene in Tiffany's.
Yeah, can we start that clip?
We could have something engraved, couldn't we?
Yes, I suppose so. Yes, indeed. The only problem is you would more or less have to buy something first, if only in order to have some object upon which to place the engraving.
So in this scene, they're kind of playing part of their adventure is, they're dressed kind of fancily today. They know that they're not going to buy anything from Tiffany because, you know, for these purposes, they're broke.
Yeah.
Well, we could have this engraved, couldn't we? I think it would be very smart.
This, I take it, was not purchased at Tiffany's?
No. Actually, it was purchased concurrent with, actually came inside of, a box of Cracker Jack.
I see.
This sales guy is, to me, like a great New Yorker in some ways because he knows he's not going to make a sale, but he still wants to accommodate these people.
Do they still really have prizes in Cracker Jack boxes?
Oh, yes.
That's nice to know. It gives one a feeling of solidarity, almost of continuity with the past, that sort of thing.
Do you think Tiffany's would really engrave it for us?
One of my favorite things about this movie that I don't know if I definitely wouldn't have noticed it when I was 15, but there's a real fidelity in that sequence to coordinate as often as possible with the New York State colors. So in that scene we just watched, she's wearing an orange coat, and they're coordinating. I was taking a lot of screenshots with my phone just of my television as I watched this. There's a lot of blue, white, and orange just in this sequence, this fantasy sequence where they are enjoying being in New York, in each other's New Yorks. And it just stands out in an interesting way. Yeah. Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. My absolute favorite
It's your
movie.
favorite movie,
It is
Cynthia.
my favorite movie of all time.
Okay, when did you see it? And what happened to you the first time you watched it? Because this is a movie that really does happen to you, no matter when you watch it. Have you guys seen this movie? Clap if you've seen the original one, not the Denzel Travolta one. Don't clap for that. Sorry, Denzel and Travolta.
Yeah, I saw it when I was a kid, and then I've seen it, I don't know, a dozen times since or something, and I just re-showed it to my son, who I showed it to when he was young, but he's now, it's like it warms a mother's heart. I've been trying to get him to catch subway fever, and he has it now. He's like, I can get anywhere in the city. And he talks to me about the kinds of trains and the years they came out. Like,
Whoa!
Yeah. But I mean,
We should just say the plot of this movie is essentially a heist takes place.
4 guys,
Get onto a subway.
and they separate one car from the rest of the
The
train.
locomotive car.
And there are like 20 or so passengers who become their hostages, and they need $1 million to be delivered to them in small unmarked bills within an hour, or they'll start shooting hostages, I think like one a minute.
Yeah,
or
one a minute
something.
until they get the money. And one of the things I love about this movie is there are so many different factions here trying to solve this problem. So you've got the mayor, who's useless.
Right.
Literally physically disgusting human being because he's sick and sneezing and
whining.
Like,
He's
spineless.
just whining.
And you've got the police department and the MTA. And like the question is
And you've got the city cops and the train
transit cops.
Right.
And the hero of this movie is, New York's the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
But the sort of the hood ornament, the sort of the avatar for New Yorkness here is Walter Matthau as the lieutenant trying to figure out how to get the money, whether to pay the money. Well, once the decision is made to pay the money, how to get the money to the train. And then amazingly,
how to make sure no hostages are killed, and how to try and figure out how to beat them at their own game. How are they planning to escape once they have the money? They're underground with cops everywhere.
Yeah, so he's doing a series of sleuthings while also, trying to save lives. And so there's a scene, I believe, between Walter Matthau's character and Robert Shaw, who is the head heistman.
Hey, Carmine, where's that Lexington 144?
Command Center calling Pelham 123. Come in.
Hey, Frank, you're hogging all my circuits. What do you want from me? I got motormen calling me from all over the line.
Well, tell them to shut up and get off the air and eat some more lines open here.
The way that character who's sitting behind Matthau.
Yeah, he's so mad because they've shot a transit guy.
Yes. And
he doesn't
can't
want to
believe
cooperate.
Matthau is negotiating to get them the money when he wants to go in and have the police department kill everybody.
Well, I never thought I'd see the day when talking to murderers took priority over running a railroad.
Get off it, will you, Frank? My only priority is saving the lives of these passengers.
Screw the goddamn passion. What the hell they expect for their lousy 35 cents to live forever?
Oh, you're beautiful.
And then he says, what do they want for their lousy 50 cents to live forever?
Probably can't find a gun in a goddamn purse.
Pelham 123, any news to report?
What's that about news? You say again about news?
I also love this microphone because it gives like a kind of Walter Winchell.
He's like a disc jockey.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's got DJ character. And Mathau is really sort of owning the assignment here.
Have you any news to report?
Oh, no, nothing yet. Gesundheit.
What are you calling about?
Pelham, we need more time.
Shut the door, please, Fred. It is 2:24, Lieutenant. You got 49 minutes left.
Be reasonable, will you? We're trying to cooperate with you, but we can't do anything if you don't give us enough time to work with.
If anybody really wants to know what a movie star is, they can come in all shapes and forms.
Including Walter
Matthau, a great New Yorker. But do you remember, I mean, I know you know the last shot of this movie.
Yeah.
The last shot of this movie is what a movie star is and can do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need words. You don't need anything other than a person who you know, mostly because you've been watching him build this character. You know this guy, he knows this guy and you know this guy from the first time you see him. He's gonna solve the case, and it's not even a sense of justice. It's just like, you don't do this here.
Right.
You don't get away with crime here.
Right.
And that, when I'm not gonna ruin the movie for you guys, but like, he opens a door and just gives a facial expression. That's the last thing you see in this movie. And it's just exquisite.
Right. And I guess I am going to ruin the movie for you. But there is a person who sneezes and has a cold, and everybody is constantly saying Gesundheit to this guy when he sneezes.
So
it's been set up so beautifully.
I had forgotten about this in the script.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry if we bothered you, Mr. Longman. Sorry. Gesundheit.
Cynthia, great job. This really might be I always say Do the Right Thing is the greatest New York movie. Like, there's like 10 of them. And this is definitely probably number 2, because it has every New Yorker, right? I think you can see every kind of New Yorker represented somewhat meaningfully in this movie. Or a meaningful faction of them. Working together, doing different jobs.
And you see Mathau sort of, struggling to be, politically correct, politically sensitive, right? I mean, he blows it right away with the Japanese people from the Tokyo subway immediately. But that he's so proud of himself because they keep saying, there's a cop on the train, there's a cop on the train, but like in plainclothes cop. And they keep saying, why isn't he doing something? And Mathau's like, you don't know it's a guy, maybe it's a woman. And the cop is disguised as a hippie, so has long hair. So when the cop finally does something and is shot, and he's okay, but he's lying there, and Walter Matthau sees the long hair, and he's like, oh, miss, let me help you. Because he's so convinced. And yet, when he's dealing with the black police chief, he's totally flummoxed because he's been talking to him, and he said, "Oh, I thought you were a taller man or something."
Yeah, mean, it's all the sort of subtleties in the power dynamics are interesting here. Everybody has brought their upstairs politics downstairs. The crew on the train, the hostages.
Oh, they're so great. The drunk woman who never wakes up till it's over.
There's a moment.
The guy I think of as the Holocaust survivor who is just determined that the system is going to work.
It's going to work.
He's going to be okay.
The red light is going to come on.
Right.
I love this movie so much. Okay. The film I chose The Wiz. I chose The Wiz because I didn't know what your relationship you'd have with it. I mean, I'm assuming you've seen it.
Yeah.
This to me is another one of these great New York movies where in the opening scene, my eyes just well up. All three of these movies have a moment where I'm just like, these works love this city in different ways and different things about the city. But The Wiz to me, just in that opening sequence,
And who does that? I mean, who starts a movie with the big family coming together? You know, that's the end of most movies, but it's the beginning of this one.
And so you get this moment where, okay, The Wiz, for all who don't know, adapted from The Wizard of Oz. It's a musical. There are black people everywhere.
There are only black people.
Just period. And it understands, this is another one of those adaptations that, you know, if you've read Frank Baum's original work, not the sort of world he built around Oz. These books are political tracts.
Yeah.
They are really thinking about what socialism, fascism, capitalism, industrialism,
The gold standard. Right.
Everything is sort of converging in Baum's storytelling. And so to have this movie come out in 1978, directed by, I mean, I don't know where you stand on this, Cynthia, like the greatest New York City filmmaker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Marty. Sorry, Spike.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Woody.
Absolutely.
Like Sidney Lumet, you know, made those guys' careers possible in some ways and the chances they could take telling stories about New York.
And he's also Lena Horne's son-in-law, which helps, you know.
Get Lena Horne to play Glinda the Good Witch.
Yeah.
I just feel like there is such an understanding of what it means to tell the Frank Baum story of The Wizard of Oz.
Yes,
or what becomes
it
The Wizard of
reclaims
Oz.
so much of a different version of the politics that's in the book that's not in the Hollywood original movie.
This, to me, has a very quiet politics. And essentially what happens is Diana Ross plays Dorothy, but doesn't play her as a schoolgirl. It's just, she's a school teacher.
Brilliant.
And she's probably depressed. She's definitely socially awkward. And her family at this big Thanksgiving dinner is just like, it's not about Dorothy in this moment, but there is a real warmth that she feels alienated somehow
Everybody's
from.
living their lives, and unlike in the original, she's a shut-in, basically. She's never been south of 125th Street. She teaches kindergarten.
Parenthetically, can I ask you a New Yorker question?
Yeah.
The address that she says she lives at once she gets to Oz, Dorothy, is like Prospect Place. I mean, we're talking Crown Heights.
Yeah, that's Brooklyn. That's Brooklyn. That's not Harlem.
So I'm just pointing that out. Sydney, just saying, I don't think Spike would have made that mistake. Just saying. But that's the address.
Not only Sydney, but everybody else that watched that happening. What's going on?
So the tornado takes her, this blizzard, right, takes her to Oz.
I guess it's supposed to be metaphorical. Like, what are her prospects?
Right.
But it's a bad choice. It's a bad choice.
Cold and frosty. Lands her on this playground in this newly reimagined New York City. And the first sign of, now I saw this movie when it first showed on TV, I believe in 1980. I had to have watched the first broadcast of this thing. And I'll never forget what happens when she gets to Oz and the graffiti comes to life.
Comes out of the wall.
And just starts walking around and saying, Toto, Toto, Toto. It is a terrifying sound to a kid. And even today, I still have access to that fear.
Yeah. And the Parks Commissioner has imprisoned them for graffitiing.
Yes. And turned them into graffiti.
Right.
So one of the things that's wonderful about it as a New York movie is the way that it imagines from 2D representations of the city, a kind of three-dimensionality, despite what you're looking at being a set. So this is the Mean Old Lion moment. This is Diana Ross, Nipsey Russell, and Michael Jackson.
Made of stone, see?
Michael is really good in this, I just want to say.
They're all
really wonderful. This is Ted Ross.
Who won a Tony for it on stage.
You
can go where you're gonna, but don't get in my way. I'm a mean old lion. You'll be standing in a trap if you don't have it now.
But I just love that this is taking place in front of the New York Public Library. And the whole movie is just doing stuff like this. How do we reimagine New York?
Crossing bridges and the sun comes up and it's an apple.
The colors are so bright. But do you remember the first time you saw this?
I mean, I was a little kid, and it's a great movie, but it's slow. And I just remember it felt like it was like 3.5 hours.
This is a good point.
Right?
This is true.
It's so emotional, but it's also just really slow to start.
Yes. Yes.
And I remember being really I thought that, I remember being really scared of those munching garbage cans in the subway.
The subway sequence
terrifying.
is like John Carpenter, Wes Craven level
really
terrifying.
Scary.
Yes.
Really scary.
George Romero is really what I'm that's the name I'm trying to come up with. Because I had never been to New York at this point in my life.
Oh, right.
Like 1980, maybe. I have no memory. So every subsequent New York experience I had been informed by my experience with this movie. And, you go down, was that filmed at Hoyt Schermerhorn? I can't remember where they did it.
Yes, yeah, it was.
The Hoyt Schermerhorn subway station, also the scene of the crime for the music video Bad. Martin Scorsese's Bad, by the way, but still, that video.
But Nipsey Russell and Coney Island is so amazing.
It's just, the whole thing is inspired.
And when they find, the crows and they find Michael Jackson up on the thing, and it's like, I don't know, it looks like the South Bronx or something, completely burned out, and nothing is one building and nothing else as far as you can see.
So this movie comes out 1978, the year after the blackout of 77. And it's not really addressing the blackout per se, but there's something about this version of New York that it's depicting that is also poised somewhere between the sort of blighted urban nightmare that you were seeing in movies like French Connection, Shaft, some of my favorite blaxploitation movies like Hell Up in Harlem and Black Caesar, where those chase sequences would end in like an alleyway and all you can see, your whole vista is just bombed out buildings. I think that the fantasy of this movie is that there can be something else to it, and that there's a force that is responsible for all that fear and uncertainty, and it is essentially flushed away. Now, the politics, there's all kinds of things with The Wiz that kind of get on my nerves. Diana Ross allegedly being too old to play Dorothy. Only for you Judy Garland queens. I think it's brilliant to have...
It's brilliant.
Was she 35 at that point? To have a young, older woman...
Everybody's afraid...
Wait till it happens to you, is all I will say.
Everybody's afraid she's going to be an old maid.
Right.
That's what they're afraid of.
And but what they talked about when this movie came out was like, this is a vanity project for her. She
is working she is so, we thought Judy Garland cried a lot. Diana Ross is just devastated and terrified for 2/3 of this movie. And then at the end singing Home with just tears and tears and tears.
She was going through something in the making of this movie. I don't know. But she's committed to this part in a way that is not vain to me. There's no vanity in this performance at all. It's a complete investment.
And you feel like she mothers every single person that
once
she comes
gets
across.
to Oz. Yeah. Anyway. Cynthia, I want to say very quickly, thank you for doing this. And it just really means a lot that you have stayed in this city, that you have tried to save us. You tried to save us once from what happened, because there were a few moments in 2020 where I was like, well, you know, this shit would have gone a lot differently in somebody else's hands. And those hands are sitting right here.
Thank you.
So, Cynthia Nixon, thank you very much.
Thank you, Wesley.
It means a lot that you came to do this.
Wow.
And thank you for giving me back Breakfast at Tiffany's and Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Well, thank you. I'm such a fan of you. I'm such a fan of the podcast, and it was really a thrill to be here.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting the show and supporting Cynthia Nixon and the Tribeca Festival. Thank you so much.